people are freaking out about a new post by Benjamin Cohen saying that there's a top of the market that's within sight. I want to go through that along with where the Bitcoin market's at right now, or where the crypto market is right now. We have some news for some things that are happening today that are definitely influencing the market, and just a crazy stat about how much you can save in Bitcoin. If you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. If you want to trade crypto with leverage, there's a link to Bydfi underneath the video. You can start trading in just a few minutes, no KYC. You don't need a VPN, and they have a 20 to 60% deposit bonus going on right now. They extended this so you can get between 20 and 60%, and you can trade with crypto as collateral. This is something that a lot of people love, and I really like it too. For example, you can trade Bitcoin with Bitcoin as collateral. You can trade Solana with Solana as collateral, and XRP with XRP as collateral, etc. This is just on the biggest cryptos now, but this allows you to leverage with the underlying currency and get paid, rewarded in the underlying currency. So if I had, I'm a big baller and I have 1 Bitcoin on the exchange, let's say, and I have 3x leverage trade, let's say Bitcoin goes up to $220,000, that means I would get rewarded with a 3x, basically, 3 extra Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin's also gone up in value. So while I pledged 110,000, I get rewarded with 3 Bitcoin that are now worth together $660,000. I realize that's an extreme example, but you can see how this can be really beneficial. And the underlying currency that I use, the first Bitcoin, is also worth $110,000 more. So instead of using USDT, I can get access to an asset that's going to appreciate a lot, so I can trade with that underlying currency, and it can give me even bigger rewards. Also, if you do want to follow me over on Rumble, I am posting these videos over on Rumble as well. Today, China and the US are in trade talks. The Commerce Secretary Lutnick said that trade talks with China are going well and will continue all day. But there's some back and forth, like some various things that we're hearing. For example, Watcher Guru says US and China concluded talks today in London. And then Zero Hedge says US-China talks are still ongoing. So there's still some uncertainty about what's happening right now. But I would look past that. I wouldn't get too worried about them talking. I think just the fact that they are talking is probably a good sign that they're both willing to work something out. Of course, we have CPI and PPI coming over the next 2 days. CPI is coming in tomorrow. One big event that we have today, though, in the crypto world is GameStop announcing their Q1 earnings today after hours. Some people were kind of pissed off because GameStop raised billions and billions and billions of dollars. And I think, if I remember right, it was a little bit while ago, I think they only used like 10% of what they were raising to buy Bitcoin. But some people are predicting that they have a big Bitcoin purchase that they're going to announce after the market closes today. Someone bought millions of dollars of call options as well. So it'll be interesting to see if they were right. Now, this is just a crazy stat. $1.60 per hour was the minimum wage in 1971. That's 1.82 ounces of gold per week. That's today's equivalent of about $6,000 a week. So you can see the price of assets has gone up dramatically. I thought it would be fun to look at this in Bitcoin. So minimum wage 10 years ago, literally today, June 10 years ago, was $7.25. The price of Bitcoin was $653. So that means every hour you could save 0.011 Bitcoin, which at today's current prices is worth about $1,200. That's just 10 years ago. Now, what can you save now? So again, it was 0.011 Bitcoin per hour, which again, just insane when you start thinking about that per week. Per week you could have saved 0.44 Bitcoin, 0.44, and that is the equivalent today of $50,000. But today, just keep in mind that the federal minimum wage has not changed since 2009. Today, that same $7.25 per hour gets you 0.00006 Bitcoin. So like 150x less Bitcoin. So let's, well, we don't even have to do the math. It's just 725 times 40 is how much that is worth now. So you can buy $290 worth of Bitcoin per week versus back 10 years ago, you could buy $50,000 worth. So it's just insane how asset prices go up. This is a good reason to accumulate assets as quickly as possible, right? The wealth gap is getting bigger over time because the wealthy people can continue to invest, get compounding, and they focus all the time on buying quality assets, while people that don't have money have to consistently spend money, or the people that don't make a good income or don't have a high net worth have to go consistently spend the money that they're bringing in. Sometimes they get into credit card debt or high interest rate loans, or they, gamble. And even just if you have a drinking problem or you smoke a lot, like that's going to be a much larger percent of your income if you're making 30,000 versus 300,000. So it's best to try to practice austerity and invest as much as possible now, because it's only going to be harder to invest and save in Bitcoin as time goes on and save in other quality assets. Benjamin Cohen blew up crypto Twitter over the last 24 hours. He said, historically, the Bitcoin market cycle top is in when the 200-week SMA crosses the prior all-time high, something to keep in mind. So he shows this chart approaching the prior all-time high. This got 1 million views in less than 24 hours. Actually, this is like 12 hours ago. People are pissed off. Like, people are really upset about it. He made a little follow-up post saying that this is not the first time that he's posted this. This is just one indicator. It's not necessarily going to be correct, but usually it's within a couple weeks we top when we've passed this level. Now, this is a log chart, so it does seem like the price of Bitcoin's a little bit closer than maybe it looks when you zoom out on a linear chart. Like the 200-week simple moving average is around 48,000. It needs to go up to 68,000. So we're still a while away. I mean, at this current trajectory, we're looking at maybe a year from now, unless we spike up. That's what typically happens. You can see most of these tops, we're seeing a big spike up in price. So then the 200-week goes exponential. It goes exponential, which we have not seen anything like that recently. It's been pretty straight up, or pretty straight. It's not curving upward at all. Now, if we get a big move up to 200,000 or 180 or something like that, you could definitely see this move up quicker. But yeah, I don't think we're necessarily that close to the high or the top of the bull market based on this info that Benjamin Cohen shows. So I still think there's time. Now, if you do want to trade, like I said, there are links underneath the video. You can check out Bydfi. You can also check out BTCC. You can check out Blowfin, WEEX, BitUniX. I use multiple platforms. I like diversifying. They have different things to offer. They have different bonuses and different features, UI, that kind of stuff. So I like to try out different things. Now, Bitcoin is looking pretty good, right? Like, we're just at 110,000 last night. Of course, this is a slightly lower high than what we saw back at the end of May, which is slightly lower than we saw the peak before that, but we did break out versus this downtrend. And you can see we did have a lot of resistance around this level, this 108,000 level, right around here. So if we bounce off this level, I think it'll be extremely bullish. Actually, if we zoom out too, you can see back in late January and in mid-December, this is like right at the prior all-time highs that we're at now. So again, if we can flip this area of resistance into support, we could see a nice leg up. Let me know your thoughts though. Thank you so much. Again, if you want to trade, there are links underneath the video to Bydfi. I'll see you all.